Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the top 5 Washington silver $quarter coins value in today's market. So, let's get started. First up, today, we're taking a look at a 1968 Washington quarter with no mint mark, and more specifically, in a blackish-toned, circulated condition. Let's find out what it's worth in today's market. The 1968 Washington quarter was struck in Philadelphia if there's no mint mark. By this year, quarters were no longer made of silver. Instead, they used a copper-nickel-clad composition. So, despite common misconception, most 1968 quarters have no silver content. Now, what about that black color? If your 1968 quarter has a dark, almost black appearance, it's typically due to environmental exposure, things like soil, chemicals, or fire damage. While it might look cool, unfortunately, this kind of discoloration usually lowers the coin's numismatic value. In average circulated condition with black toning and normal wear or damage, this coin is still worth its face value, 25 cents. But if it's part of an error strike or has a rare flaw, it might be worth more. Rare errors like doubled dies or off-center strikes from 1968 can push value up sometimes $20 to $100, depending on the severity and condition. But these are the exceptions, not the rule. So, your blackish 1968 quarter without a mint mark? It's a cool piece of history, but unless it's got a major error or is in high grade, it's likely just worth 25 cents. Next up, the 1990 D Washington quarter, a silver look-alike that's sparking curiosity in the coin world. Is it worth anything in today's market? Let's find out. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. pocket change since 1932. But here's something important. The 1990 D quarter was not made of silver. It's composed of copper and nickel, unless it's an error coin. So if you've got a silver-colored 1990 D quarter, it's most likely just worn or plated, not actual silver. Now, there are rare cases where coins were struck on the wrong planchet, like a silver planchet intended for proof coins. But these are extremely rare and authenticated by professionals. If your 1990 D Washington quarter is damaged, here's the truth. It likely holds only face value, 25 cents. Even rare mint errors lose a lot of value when heavily worn or damaged. In today's market, a damaged 1990 D quarter, even if it were a true mint error, might bring in $5 to $20 at best, and that's if a collector is still interested. If you suspect your quarter is something special, maybe struck on the wrong planchet, or has a rare error, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Otherwise, it's best to enjoy it as part of your everyday change. Next up, the 1982-D Washington quarter, not just any quarter one that's blackened, damaged, and still possibly valuable. Let's find out how much it could be worth. Even in rough condition. In 1982, the U.S. Mint stopped producing uncirculated coin sets due to budget cuts. That meant fewer high-quality coins were preserved by collectors, especially from the Denver Mint, marked by the letter D. These coins became unexpectedly rare in better grades. Now here's the twist. Although Washington quarters minted in 1982 were clad, not silver, some rare errors and unusual toning have made specific coins highly collectible. Typically, a blackened or heavily worn coin loses most of its value. But some error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or unique toning, can still fetch surprising amounts, even in poor condition. So, what's the value of a 1982 D quarter that's blackened or damaged? Most sell for face value 25 cents. But if it has a mint error or is part of a rare strike, it could sell for $10 to $75. And in rarer cases, up to $250. Look for these signs: unusual weight, off-center images, doubling in the lettering, or missing clad layers. Even damaged coins with rare errors can be valuable to the right buyer. Got a 1982 D quarter that looks strange or beat up? Don't toss it just yet. It could be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter in your pocket change is worth more than 25 cents? Let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting to find out 1980 marked a significant year in U.S. coinage history. For the first time, the Philadelphia Mint began stamping a P-mint mark on its quarters, breaking a 188-year tradition of no mint marks on coins from this facility. In today's market, a standard 1980p Washington quarter in circulated condition typically holds its face value of 25 cents. However, if you possess one in uncirculated or mint state, its value can increase. For instance, an MS-65 graded coin might fetch around $15, while an MS-67 could be valued up to $210. Certain errors can significantly boost a coin's value. A 1980p quarter struck on a 5-cent planche sold for $253. Off-center strike errors, depending on their severity, can range from $15 to over $150. If you believe you have a valuable 1980p quarter, consider getting it professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS and NGC can provide authentication and grading services, which can significantly influence a coin's market value. Next up, the 1970 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, and what it could be worth in today's market if it's in extra fine condition. First off, let's talk about the coin itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. But by 1970, most U.S. quarters were made with a copper nickel-clad composition, not silver. So here's the catch: the 1970 Washington quarter without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia and is not silver. However, due to its age and some rare varieties, it's still of interest to collectors. In extra fine condition, a standard 1970 quarter with no mint mark is usually worth about $1 to $3, depending on demand. That's not bad for a coin you might still find in pocket change. But wait, there's more. Some rare varieties and errors from 1970 have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. One of the most famous is the 1970 S-proof quarter, struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter, which sold for over $35,000. However, that's an S-mint proof coin, not the standard no-mint Philadelphia strike we're focusing on today. So, to wrap it up, if you've got a 1970 Washington quarter with no mint mark in extra fine condition, it's typically worth around $1 to $3. It's not a retirement fund, but it's still more than face value and a nice piece of history. Always check for unusual features or mint errors because you never know what treasure you might be holding. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you, and next time, happy collecting.